welcome to the album debut, everybody. This is Interstellar Ice. It's gonna be super epic, and that's all I gotta say. All right, cool. Okay, so getting into the first song of Interstellar Ice, which is Intro. Essentially, the song is, you guys have heard the music before, which is the intro music to the stream. But I have added lyrics to it, and it's essentially, it's pretty much just a lore song, but you'll listen to it. It's a fun lore song, to say the least. It's a fun lore song. In a world named Xylon, a battle between the two royal families splits the nation in half. On one side stands the Kōri, reclaiming their land and freedom. The Rai are their opposers, wanting world domination. Rai will thunder while the Kōri fight with ice. The Kōri will solve them at any cost. The princess of the Kōri's in the forbidden, her ritual to summon an omnipotent being. A cracked raccoon teen gets isekai into this body of the elegant ice princess. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What will happen to the raging war outside? Find out next time she is live. Listen to the whole album. It's good. Okay? Bye. All right. Okay, cool. We did it. All right, cool. Let me go back over here. So, to quickly talk about the song, I just wanted something to introduce, obviously, it's called Intro, duh, but like introduce Kōri as a character, and I think it did a really good job, and I think it set up a really good perspective of like how this album is going to work, which is essentially like, it is not one genre. It is all over the place. It, it's like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, but at the same time, it does have one common theme, through it. So essentially, I just wanted to create something that was like, it seemed like it was serious. This is very much Kōri's character, where the outwardly appearance is serious and elegant, and then at the end, it's just, no, it's not. It's not. It's absolutely a crackhead raccoon. So that's essentially what I wanted to do with the song, was just to create something that was super just, it seemed like it was just a gap moe, essentially, that I love about Kōri as a character. And obviously to set the expectation that this album is there's no one specific genre. It is absolutely just all over the place, and it's a good time. And that's why, and I also added that little cute part, that dumb cute part at the end that was like, listen to the whole album. Because I genuinely feel like you could hear one song and just decide you don't like it, but I guarantee like there's there's probably a song that you somewhat like, at least, on the album, because they're all vastly different from each other. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, essentially. But it's really cool. So I hope that you enjoy that, and I enjoyed writing the lyrics to Intro. I remember someone was like, "There's no way that you can write lyrics to that song," and I was like, "Bet." I was like, "Bet." So I did it to spite them. No, I'm just kidding. No, not to spite them. Just to do something different. And I've always loved like Nier Automata music, if y'all have heard it, or just Nier music in general. Drakengard 3. So yeah, I just wanted to do something that was different, and it was definitely different. So, but yeah, I just wanted to set the stage of like the album being all over the place. So Nier is fire. Oh, sorry, I totally read the chat out loud. I'm sorry. I had to agree with that. Nier is amazing. Anyway, so that's Intro. Thank you for listening to Intro. The next song is pretty epic as well. So let me get that queued up here. So we're gonna go next song here. We're gonna go to Isekai. Awesome. So talking quickly about Isekai, essentially, it's like a kawaii EDM type beat, and it's just so vastly different. When you listen to the album in its entirety, like fully, you listen to Intro, and then you literally feel like you're getting isekai'd with Isekai after you listen to Intro, which is part of the reason why I had it as a second song. And it's just great. And obviously Koi's character is an Isekai, so that's exciting, obviously. But I also wanted to make a song that had a interesting or different, cute kind of like take on something that is very interesting to me in the VTuber community, which is this pressure of being like a lewd tuber. You'll see that like the song itself is pretty lighthearted and stuff like that, and I will get into this like aspect of it after you listen to the song. But I just want to say that like it's definitely there is a different perspective on it. There's a reason why I wrote it. It's not just because like I wanted to write about thighs. I mean, I did just want to write about thighs, but there's more to it than that. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, it's pretty great. It also is ironically or maybe unironically the hardest song that I wrote, I think, on this album. It was like the hardest song for me. I don't know if that's ironic or unironic or not, because like it was just weird. Like it was not the kind of song that I was used to at all. But I had a lot of fun. It ended up being a song that I did really enjoy. So I am really excited to share this with y'all today. But it is very dancey and fun, and it's also something that I feel like I don't know, I think a lot of people enjoy, you know, this, at least in this community, enjoy like the upbeat, like EDM kind of music. So yeah, I don't know. I also enjoy this song. I enjoy the dance. I needed one like dancey song. You know what I mean? So they're all dancey songs. What I'm talking about. But anyway, so for Isekai, we're gonna go ahead and pull that up. Let's go ahead and transfer over to the archway. And then I'm also going to be changing outfits for Isekai as well. Take over the dummy in my feelings of flashes. Got me like, damn me the best. Thick or thin, love you if it's a sin. Let me show you my hard eyes. Let me show you. You know that vibe, but you cannot define. Isekai in your thick thighs. I got your beautiful assets inside. Isekai in your thick thighs. I've been screaming out your name like senpai. Bring you into my world. New lingerie. I'm sure you'll cause you're kawaii. If I'm ever feeling down, I know your smile's the best for me. Anata wa sugoku kirei desu. Watashi wa anata ga hoshii desu. I could be any dairy that you want. Under anybody looks you, it's death on the spot. lines. Every day because my love is nonchalant. How'd you dare to like, oh no, Eto, what? Thuggery, about to pull out the Glock. Let me show you my hard eyes. Let me show you your surprise. Late hours no longer say so. I ain't trying to be a lover. Let me show you my hard eyes. Let me show you your surprise. Late hours no longer say so. I ain't trying to be a lover. I wanna isekai in your thick thigh. I got your beautiful assets inside. Isekai in your thick thigh. You know that thigh, but you cannot define. Isekai in your thick thigh. I got your beautiful assets inside. Isekai in your thick thigh. I'll be screaming out your name like senpai. Isekai. I got your beautiful assets inside. Isekai. You know that thigh, but you cannot define. Isekai. I got your beautiful assets inside. Isekai. I'll be screaming out your name like I can be whatever you need. Call me a princess or your queen. I may not be a YouTuber, honey, but all of my snow syrups are sweet and yummy. There we go. That was Isekai. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for enjoying Isekai with me. Okay, let's go ahead and jump over here. Boop. All right. Woo! We made it! Let's go! Okay, cool. So, yeah, Isekai for me was just like an interesting take on the, because as I mentioned before, I feel like in the VTubing community, there's like a lot of, I feel like there could be a lot of pressure for people to be lewd, you know, in order to be successful. Like, I've literally had people say, like, in order for you to be successful, you have to be lewd, essentially. I mean, same shit. But yeah, and I think that kind of sucks. That sucked for me to hear because being overly sexual and stuff wasn't something that I wanted to do with my content. And I think it kind of sucks, too, because it kind of... I mean, obviously it's no one's fault, really, but I think it kind of creates this interesting expectation that some viewers have. Not all, but some viewers have where in order for them to be entertained, they want to see lewd content. For example, a lot of, like, when I was reaching out to clipping channels, a lot of the clips were out of context, like sexual or borderline sexual or innuendos and stuff like that. Of sexual content, and I think that that's just what people like. That's what a mass majority like to see. I would assume, but that's also almost painting the picture of the idea that you can't be a successful VTuber unless you are sexual in some capacity, because that's what people clip. That's what people want to see, and I think that really sucks. And I feel like Isekai is kind of like, obviously I wanted to make a fun song, and I also wanted to start it off with something that was like, hey, all body types are cool and accepted, okay? Because, like, I know that when I talk in the chorus, it says thick thighs, right? But thick, the term thick is also can be relative, right? Because it's like, I have small hands. Fucking thick could mean a numerous amount of sizes. So really what it's saying is like pretty thighs. I'm talking about sexy thighs or nice thighs, right? It's not necessarily like a size of thigh, right? But I wanted to preface the song with that mini intro that was saying, like, you know, Tiggle Bitties got me in my feelings, but Flat just got me like, damn, you the best. Because I want to say, like, you know, it doesn't matter what your size is. Because what I'm saying here is, like, we're all beautiful at the end of the day. And I just wanted to make a funny song about thighs. While also talking about this idea, like, taking another approach on this idea of being, like, a lewd tuber. Which I have nothing against. Again, like, you know, do what you want to do, whatever makes you happy. But I will say that the perspective is interesting because, for example, I think the best way to explain it is the part where I talk about all the dere types. It was essentially inspired by this idea of, like, the expectations I was talking about, where people want you to act a certain way. They want you to be this certain thing. And I feel like it's almost, Isekai is almost telling this, like, you know, I want to be everything that you want. You know what I mean? That's why I'll be any dairy. I can be any dairy that you want. If that means that you're gonna support, like, if you're gonna watch me, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's almost this weird, like, obsession with, like, being something. And anyway, I just wanted to make, like, a cute and, like, not super dark, but, like, an interesting take on this idea of, like, you know, having to change yourself and your content for people who like lewd things. You know what I mean? So anyway, but I wanted to also end it by saying that, like, you know, I can be whatever you want to be. Again, saying, like, literally blatantly saying what I was trying to explain with the dere types. Call me your princess or your queen. And then I just wanted to end it saying, like, verifying to everyone that I am not a lewdtuber, but I love y'all, you know? And I express my love for my snow syrups in a different way than being, you know, lewd. But I respect however you want to, you know, do that, but I'm just saying that that's me. So, yeah, essentially. Sorry, I know that was a little bit of a long-winded, like, explanation, but, yeah. It was fun. And then obviously I just wanted something that was, like, upbeat and fun, and that's a lot what isekai is. And yeah, I will mention that I did write out very brief explanations of the songs. Obviously it's not line by line, but they are somewhat of what I'm talking about. It's a little bit more in depth of what I'm talking about now, and where it's gonna be posted on my website. So I have it all written out. It'll probably be posted tomorrow, but if anyone is interested in learning more about the songs or, like, the reasons behind the songs, you can check out the website, and I will have these longer analysis and explanations of the songs on my website. It'll be probably on the Tales of Xylon tab if y'all have seen the website before. Wait, this is the site, by the way. Anyway, yeah, so that's Isekai, and it was a fun song to make, but also very hard. It was a struggle. I think Isekai was the last song that, like, I finished, because it was just, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. Because, like, I wanted to do something, like, about being, like, lewd, but, like, I am not a lewd tuber, and I want to make that clear, you know? I may have this, like, sexy-esque outfit, but I'm not a lewd tuber. I got this outfit specifically for the song, and I'm not using it other than the song, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I also just wanted to show off tattoos, like, you know, I can't help it. Anyway, so that's what's up. That's what's up. But obviously, like, I'm not hating on anyone who supports lewdtubers or lewdtubers. Like, I want everyone to do their own thing, but I just, like, am afraid of that expectation of, like, if you're not a lewdtuber, then you're not successful, or you suck as a VTuber. Like, I've literally heard people, you know, say that or imply things like that, and I don't appreciate that, because I think that all content should be embraced equally, or at least taken a look at. If you don't like it, then move on to something else, but, like, don't say that you can't be successful unless you are following all these trends, because you don't have to follow these trends. Just be yourself, is what I'm saying. So anyway, for post debut, everybody has listened to the song or has seen the song already. But I obviously, it's still the album, so I had to show it off with the rest of the album. But yeah, we'll be listening to post debut. Again, post debut is a kind of like the collection of bad and good moments of VTubing, essentially, after debut, specifically. And yeah, it just shows a really good story of having, like, a intense debut and kind of, like, coming down off of that and hitting kind of like a low, I would say. And then the beat switch kind of, like, symbolizes this idea of, like, fuck it, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. That's what that is. So yes. And again, post debut is just, like, talking about the highs and lows of, like, after debuting. Because as I mentioned in the line by line video, there's kind of just, like, which is up on YouTube, by the way, if you want to check it out. If you want the line by line of post debut, it is already out. And it is an edited VOD, so it's not as, like, annoying and crazy. Anyway, no, it's still annoying and crazy. What am I talking about? But yeah, it's just been it's been a wild ride, and I think debut numbers can be very inflated. They're not always like, they're not gonna be real for like the longest time. You know what I mean? Like, you get a lot of people on your debut stream, and then they kind of whittle down to like a couple of people, and then it feels like you're just losing, and like you feels like you're doing something wrong, you know, and you can't get these answers, these questions answered, until finally you get to a breaking point where I feel like either you stop, go on hiatus, or you do a re-debut, or you keep going. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like it's very interesting. It's very interesting the way that that after debut, sometimes things can be very emotional because of all the ups and downs. And I wanted to talk about it because I don't think many people talk about that. It happens to everybody, I feel like, or most people, you know. That it's just, everything kind of goes downhill after debut because debut numbers are so inflated, essentially. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, if you want to check out the full explanation of post debut, it is up on my YouTube. Yeah, but thank you for listening to post debut and enjoying the song. So talking really quickly about Lurk. I don't hate any lurkers. Let me just preface this by saying I do not hate lurkers. I'm not going to call lurkers out. I know that's not what we do. I appreciate y'all. I pretty much just want to be cute. And I wanted to, you know that saying like, oh, you know, these haters are preying on my downfall. I was like, oh, these haters are lurking on my downfall. Essentially. I just wanted to be cute. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, I'm not hating on any lurkers, honestly. Like, I appreciate people who lurk. It's not like that. I just liked the title. It related to streaming. It relates to what I do. So that's why I decided to use that command as the song title. Anyway, so essentially, Lurk is just kind of like talking about some of the experiences I've had with personalities in this community. Pretty much this song is just talking about the bad experiences. There have been good. I don't want to act like there are no good experiences in this community, but these are specifically the tougher ones. Essentially, what Lurk is about is, well, throughout my experience so far VTubing, I have received like a lot of, obviously, hate messages. I'm not gonna share them or anything like that. But I was like pretty used to that. In a past community that I was a part of, I received hate messages, I received death threats, like shit, whatever, you know. I don't care about that, right? It's fine. Like, we look over that, we move on. But something that I really was not used to that I feel like is very, I don't know, I don't want to say particular, but it's definitely like more exaggerated in my opinion in the VTubing community. It's the amount of fellow VTubers messaging me things that were like very clearly treading this line between I want to be your friend in case you blow up, or so that way I can get clout from you, but I also like fucking envy you and I fucking hate you. There's like a lot of messages that were like that. There were messages that were being sent that like seemed very, at least to me, it seemed like they were trying to trip me up to like say something rude, you know, to me. Like, say they want me to say something rude to them because they're being so obnoxiously rude to me. They think that they're trying to like screenshot some fucking DMs like, oh, look, Kōri-Oujo said this shit to me. You know what I mean? Take things out of context. Oh my gosh, hi Cammy. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Let me focus. Because I need to make sure I'm editing this correctly. Mod, can you just explain what's going on right now? I appreciate you, Mod. Okay, cool. So continuing on, essentially there were just a lot of DMs that were like that I got that were very like evil, I guess, you know. And it got to the point where I had to close DMs. And that closing DMs really helped my mental health, you know, because like I was dealing with a lot less of that obvious envy through DMs and stuff like that. So it was really great. It helped me a lot. And I think since then, these particular individuals who were very secretive, as in they only DM'd it, they acted a certain way on stream or on social media, which is okay. You know, you're an entertainer, you gotta act a certain way. But they would be very two-tone bitch-faced, you know, where it's like they acted so sweet and nice, and then on DMs, they were really rude, they were clearly envious, you know, that kind of stuff. And those people have been pretty quiet since I closed DMs. But but I know that they're still there. And that's why I kind of named the song Lurk as well, because these people are essentially still lurking, still around, they're still waiting for me to mess up. And that's why I wanted to make a song called Lurk, about some of the people some of the bad experiences I've had, and the fact that it's still kind of there, and it's not really gonna go away. But, you know, I've kind of learned to, like, accept that and, like, just do me, and not engage with that. You know what I mean? Not put out there that I engage with that. For example, I don't post these messages. I'm not planning on posting these messages, because I don't want to engage with them. I don't want to open the door for more of these messages to come in because I publicize it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and obviously, Lurk is like just another rap song that's like super fun and crackhead raccoony. As you could hear from the D's nuts joke once again. Well, am I ever gonna stop? No. And you know, you're stinky, you're sweaty. Take a shower. all that dumb shit. But yeah, it was really fun to do that. And just do the crackhead raccoon nature and doing that, and yeah, I just I essentially wanted to leave y'all with the message of, like, you know, be careful who you talk to, and be careful when you're typing things out. You know, think before you type something and send it. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, how would this affect you if someone said this to you while you were doing a stream, or while you might not be in the best of times? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know where this person's mental space is at, and I think you need to try to respect that. Even if you don't know, just try. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would just say, just be careful, everybody out there, because not everybody is all shiny and beautiful, unfortunately. But, again, like, all love to all of the content creators. I wish the best for them. We'll be chilling over here in our corner, and they'll be chilling over there in their corner, or lurking on my downfall. Okay. So essentially, talking about why did I choose this outfit? First of all, I'm sure you all are wondering, like, what? Are you getting married? No, I'm not getting married. Let me make that very clear. I'm not getting married. I just thought it'd be funny. I feel like weddings are very, like, you know, like, that's supposed to be, like, a very fairy tale-esque moment, is, like, when you get married and stuff like that, right? It's like, oh, everything is beautiful and romantic and it's magical. So that's part of the reason why. Also, a long time ago, I'm not calling anyone out, I just think it's funny. A long time ago, people thought that I was getting married, and I was not getting married. So I just thought it was funny as well. Again, I'm not upset. I just thought it was a funny thing to make a meme out of it. With an outfit. Yes, that's what I did. Are you expecting anything else from me? Anyway, yeah, so I did that. And then Fairy Tale Arc as a song as well. Essentially, it's about, it's kind of going again on this idea of, like, you know, people having expectations and stuff like that. I think when part of the experience I had with VTubing is that people would see me and be like, oh, she has everything. Yeah, I don't know how to explain that. And I don't want it, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal here either. I'm trying to explain it in a way, like, for example, maybe you see a bigger VTuber, that's not me necessarily, but, like, a big VTuber, you're like, oh, hell no, I can't approach them, they're big, you know what I mean? Or you see, like, a smaller VTuber, you're like, oh, easy, I can approach them, you know what I mean? Or they don't have much, so, you know, I could bully them, that's what some people think. You know, so it's a little bit, like, kind of like that, where it's like, I think people had seen me and thought that, like, made assumptions about who I was. For example, making assumptions that I was not struggling, that everything was grand and dandy in the world of Kōri-Oujo and Xylon. No, it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. I was also struggling. I wasn't getting numbers. I wasn't, you know, doing things that I wanted to do, essentially. And so, like, I wanted to kind of make a song about this idea of, like, this overarching idea of, like, you know, people believing that you're living something that you're not, and making assumptions that you're living this beautiful fairy tale story when you're not. And it also relates to Kōri, as well as a character, where Kōri's character is isekai essentially. And I think normally you think that isekai animes are like fun, they're harems usually, they're usually lighthearted, again, usually. But I think the way that Kōri's isekai is, it's actually very sad. It's very isolating. Like, she's immediately thrown into a body that has extreme responsibility, being like an ice princess, the crown princess, right? And there's already a war going on, which she knows nothing about, and doesn't know the language. She doesn't have any people there, like, to be her friend. It's very isolating, I think. And I think that's something that isekai anime sometimes doesn't go over, that isekai can be very, if you actually think about it, it can be very isolating and very scary. And so it's, again, this outwardly appearance of, like, isekai anime usually is lighthearted, fun. You get to be this cool character and fight shit and be cool, but, like, in actuality, Kōri is living something that is not fun and not cool and actually really sad for her, because she misses Earth, even though she doesn't say it on stream, she'll never say it. The only thing that's connecting her to her life, her real self, is the computer screen and Earth, to Earth, essentially. So it's actually really sad. Anyway, so that's kind of like the lore behind Fairy Tail Arc. And then there's the experience behind Fairy Tail Arc as well. So anyway, enough of me talking. I know, I'm sorry, I talk too much. Anyway.
Another day, another self-deprecating smile. Another strike at the way I live my life, yeah, add it to my file. Cause the negativity is the only thing they wanna see. How did they know praying on my kindness was the only key? They think I'm living some fairy tale. They think I'm living some beautiful arc. If this is my story to tell, why are you trying to write it for me? Another night where their words seem to hit harder. Another time where so-called friends make their departure. You said you'd support me through the thick and thin, so why you acting now like it's a sin? You only hit me up to tell me that you're striving. Yeah, I'm happy for you, but I'm barely surviving. They think I'm living some fairy tale. They think I'm living some beautiful arc. If this is my story to tell, why are you trying to write it for me? They think I'm living some fairy tale. They think I'm living some beautiful arc. If this is my story to tell, why are you trying to write it for me? I can't believe you have the audacity to act like you're right, fly in your kite, clear blue skies. Meanwhile, I fight myself, inflicted war, my throat going sore. The heart that you tore will slowly restore it. Once you're out of my life, I will live this wonderful fairy tale. I will live this beautiful art. Your story's an empty shell, and mine was just waiting to start. I will live this wonderful fairy tale. I will live this beautiful art. Your story's an empty shell, and mine was just waiting to start.
Whoop whoop! That was Fairy Tail Arc, everybody. All right, let me go over to here. yeah, as you can listen to, you probably heard in the lyrics, but essentially, yeah, it's definitely just like a mixture of just having all of these things happen and negative things happen and these assumptions being made about myself. I think really it comes down to people don't think about the person behind the model, right? Or whatever. Like, they're not thinking about the entertainer, or like, sorry, not the entertainer, but I guess the person behind the entertainer. Because I feel like sometimes they could be two different people. You know what I mean? And it just kind of sucks, you know. And so I feel like Fairy Tail Arc is really about this. It's about a really interesting time where I was realizing that these things were happening and realizing that people were just jumping to these conclusions about who I was and my mental health. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm done with that. You know what I mean? And the end of Fairy Tail Arc is supposed to be, the last chorus essentially is me saying that, like, I'm going to live what I want to live. I will live this, you know, fairy tale the way that I want to live it. I'll live this arc, this beautiful arc. You know, your story, the people who have been attacking me or making assumptions about me, their story is an empty shell. And it's going to be an empty shell because that's the way they want to live. That's not I don't think that's the best way to live, in my opinion, to be hateful and hold grudges and stuff like that. I think that can be very toxic, you know. You're going to be living that, and my story was just waiting to start. And that's definitely something that I felt, you know. I felt like once I had that realization, I think when I had a lot of changes in mentality, that's when I felt like my story was just waiting to start. You know, like, after realizing all of these things about VTubing, the community, about streaming in general, I think I really realized that, like, no, like, I can do this, and I can do this the way that I want to do this. I don't have to follow all of these trends or norms of VTubing. Like, let me do me, and I'm gonna enjoy it. You know what I mean? And write my own story, essentially, is what that's saying. Is like, I'm gonna write my own story. I'm gonna do my own thing, and this is me. People who want to be here and support that, I sincerely appreciate that, and I love y'all. No homo. But it makes it feel so much more better that I'm putting content out there that I love, and that people who do enjoy it, like, they're there to, they generally are enjoying something that I love, you know. If they don't like it, that's cool. They move on, they find something else to enjoy or to diss, to hate on. They can go hate on anything, you know. So, yeah, but the people that stay and, like, sincerely enjoy what I'm putting out, like, that means the world to me. I'm gonna try not to get emotional here. Sorry, there's a lot of emotions, like, pent up from these last couple months, but essentially, that's what I'm saying, and I'm ready for the next chapter in my VTubing career, which starts now, I would say. Well, it's actually started a while ago, to be honest, but yeah, this is, I think, a visual representation and an audio representation of this shift for me. This is my first song, as most people here know. This is the first song that I ever released, and I'm really excited to be having this on the album. It's very interesting because I actually went back and forth between, do I want to remaster, essentially, LOL? I decided no, I'm not going to remaster it, because one, I don't have time, and two, because I think you can hear very audibly, like, the bad production quality, but you can, more importantly, you can hear the improvement. And I think LOL, obviously, it's a fun classic song, and it's a testament to, you can start here. There's always gonna be a starting point, and then from that starting point, pretty much all you can do is improve. You know what I mean? So I wanted to include LOL on the album because this is my first song, and it's from one song to an entire album. This song is essentially the song that started, like, you know what, I could just do a fucking album, let's fucking do it, and I did it, which is weird. But yeah. So again, most of what I wanted to say was just what I said earlier, which is, like, it's a testament to you know, my beginnings, my humble beginnings. I'm sorry, that's annoying. But essentially, yeah, it's been a really great journey, and I think LOL was just really fun, and it made Cody's Crackhead Raccoon shine. It was a good starting point, I feel like, for my music in general. Also, let me just like look a little bit. Hello, okay. It was a great starting point for my music in general, I feel like, and I don't know. It's just like, it's so fun. I think it's just like the memes and everything, and the fact that that's where I started, and somehow I'm coming out with an album, like, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to like gloat or anything. I'm literally just saying, like, it's been such a journey, and I think LOL, since it was the start of that journey, I had to keep it in the album. But again, when you listen to the songs on Spotify and YouTube, I guarantee you, LOL is like bass boosted when compared to all the other songs because of the production quality. Because I learned a lot during my time of like doing the album. I learned so much on just the programs that I have, the assets that I can use and stuff like that. I did a lot of tweaking with the beats, like more so than I did before. So yeah, it's great. It's a great time. And I'm so glad that I was able to do this song and get to this point. So, thank you everyone for supporting LOL when it first came out. And if you supported LOL when it first came out and you're still here, like, thank you. Like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. If it wasn't for that support, this would not be happening. Like, this would not be here if it wasn't for you, if you hadn't had supported that song. So, genuinely, thank you so much. Like, I really, really appreciate it. So talking a little bit about Confessions Snow Part 2, this is arguably the most personal song I have on the album. Because for those of you who don't know, Confessions, the first Confessions was my attempt at like an anime-esque song that I thought people would like in the VTuber community, because, like, you know, we're all anime guys, gals, and everything in between, you know what I mean? But blatantly said, I do not like that first song. I don't like Confessions of Snow, the original. And when you listen to the song, you will hear like more and why. And I'll talk about it more afterwards. But there are reasons why I don't like the song. And essentially, the reason boils down to that song wasn't me, and that song wasn't something that I feel like I should have put out, because that wasn't that wasn't content that I actually genuinely, full-heartedly like wanted to create, I guess, if that makes any sense. It was something that, like, obviously for what it was, like, it was good, it was cool, it was semi-fun by doing something out of my comfort zone. But I think at the end of the day, the song itself wasn't something, it was inspired for the wrong reasons. The song was inspired by, hey, I really want to make a song that, like, would everybody, like, more people in the VTuber community would like, maybe it'll reach more people, maybe it'd help me grow, you know what I mean? That's kind of what the inspiration was. Instead of, the inspiration should have been, this is a song that I genuinely wanted to create and that I have a lot of feeling and meaning for, if that makes any sense. So, you'll hear it in the lyrics, and, yeah, but, this is, gonna be Confessions in Snow, part 2.
Tell
That was Confessions, everyone. All right. All right, welcome back. So as Mercy said, I really didn't like the first song because, as I said, the feelings behind it and the inspiration behind it, it's not what I like. I don't think it's appropriate for the content that I want to make, now. So I wanted to take that song. And I do like the beat. Take the music and do something that I actually enjoy and that I want with it. And I feel like, as I say in the song, like, I really appreciate people who enjoy Confessions in the Snow, the first one. I really appreciate you. And like, I don't want to disregard the compliments. I don't want to disregard the care and kindness that people have shown the song. But that's not me. And I think what I'm talking about in Confessions in the Snow is essentially that the first Confessions, it's kind of symbolizing this time during my VTubing career where I was putting out content or thinking about changing who I was so that way I could better fit what I believed a bigger audience would be, or like my audience would be, right? I was gearing everything for something that didn't exist, essentially. And Confessions in the Snow Part 2 is really just a confessions about that song. This is like why I don't like that song. Why it's not because I don't know how to explain it. Like, literally just because it's my own thing. It's literally just me. Like, it's my mental ideas and inspirations behind that song that creates this reason why I don't like it. And obviously, aside from the production quality as well, it's not as good. The production quality is kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie. But again, we're learning, I'm learning, growing, and Confessions in the Snow Part 2, you can hear the difference and you can feel the difference, I feel like, in this song. I feel like you can feel my emotions a lot more in this song. I feel like this is me in my rawest form, and I'm extremely emotional and doubtful of myself, and I get scared to go live sometimes. Like I said, I get scared to press the start button, and it's hard to do streaming. Try to take streaming a lot more seriously, or to think about how I could be doing better, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. But it's just about work ethic. That's really more about my work ethic than anything. But I'm really excited and happy that I was able to create something from something that I disliked heavily. I created something that I truly felt was me and was original. And that's why I made this song. I wanted to tell people, this song really was for people that have been here since I released this song, because I want y'all to know that, like, I appreciate y'all, and I want to confess to you that, this is who I am, and, like, I know y'all know this, but this is who I am, and that song wasn't who I was, despite all the support. That song wasn't what I was. So yeah, this song is really for people who have really been around for a long time and consistently support me. Thank you so much for being here since really day one. So thank you. This is for you. So, all right, everybody. So, a little bit about Throne. Let me center myself a little bit more here. So a little bit about Throne. Damn, Throne is a lot. To be honest with you, when I first was working on Throne, I did not like the song. I was like, this shit is bad. I was like, this is awful. I don't know why. I just really didn't like it. It didn't sound right to me. And there were just a lot of strange parts in the song that you will hear that I didn't know how to fill the space. But I think I filled it pretty well. It sounds, I genuinely, this is one of my top songs on the album at this point. I mean, they're all fucking fire, but but yeah. I think to kind of talk about the story behind Throne. So, when I was working with the beat, I definitely felt so many things coming from the beat itself. I felt angry, but also hype. So a lot of energy, kind of rage, but also this overall insane feel. It was just so energetic and fast paced that I was I need this to be this is a banger. This is a club banger, okay? So I really wanted to create a song that kept that energy, and I feel like I did a good job at doing that. At least I think I did. Maybe you can disagree, but I think I did okay at doing that. And the story that I really wanted to tell and kind of honestly inspired this outfit, was the story of this aspect of royalty that you don't really talk about. Like, you know, queens and princesses are usually associated with like, oh, elegant and beautiful and maybe a little bit of sass. You know what I mean? I don't know what that was. Voice acting 101. But I wanted to talk about an aspect that we don't really talk about, potentially, like, unless we just don't really talk about. And it's like the evil, corrupt side where hope becomes obsession. And I wanted to create this story of essentially a queen, or like someone becoming a queen, aka Kōri becoming queen, and really taking on this responsibility of being a queen, and the downfall, the corruption of that pressure and the power of the crown, essentially. So yeah, I just really wanted to go for something that was like talking about the insanity that comes with power, or being at the top, I would say, or the hierarchy kind of thing, whatever, of a kingdom specifically. And it's just a lot of pressure, and you have to please your people. You do everything for your people, bring victory for your kingdom, and to ultimately represent the folks that walk on your land, right? So it's a lot of pressure to be a queen, because you have to do all these things and like make everyone happy, you know what I mean? And I related that heavily with streaming, in a sense, where you kind of feel this pressure to entertain all of your viewers, to try to make everyone, at least for me, I try to make everyone feel, you know, welcome here, to know them as an individual. It is a lot of pressure, though. It's a lot of work, because you have to remember these things. You have to, you know, make sure you engage with them appropriately. And when they want something that you don't provide, it can be hard. For example, as I mentioned earlier, wanting lewd content that I do not do. I don't do lewd content, you know? So it's very hard when you're put on that spot, put on the hot seat, essentially, to be this point of, for lack of a better term, power, to be this point of a queen, to have all this pressure to be something that has all this power and whatnot. Anyway, I don't really know how to explain it. It's kind of hard. I can write better than I can talk sometimes. Actually, all the time. But anyway, besides the point. So yeah, that's what Thrones essentially about, is just about this more corrupt side of being royalty. So, yes. that was thrown. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so if you could probably tell already, but in the song, there's a lot of back and forth, and I feel like there's a lot of back and forth in VTubing, with, like, trying to please, like, the new and, like, the old viewers, you know what I mean, and it kind of makes you go insane, you know what I mean, because you're just like, what do I do? Like, you don't get answers for all the questions that you have, and it just, like, kind of builds up, you know, and it takes a toll on your mental health. So that's definitely what Throne is about. And, like, obviously, if you heard, there's, like, a lot of lyrics about being a queen, and that's obviously the story that I'm trying to tell. I hope that was clear. I hope that was cool, because I enjoyed it. But yeah, I just really, I didn't think, at first I was like, screaming in this song, but then I was like, screaming in this song. So I decided to scream the song, and that's what happened. It felt great. It felt like something that the song was trying to tell me to do, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just wanted to make something different. I was so experimental with this song that I was like, let me just fuck it up and just scream, you know, essentially. I finally did the era. I'm not actually gonna say it, but that was me. Believe it or not, this crackhead raccoon finally did the double A trend, all right? But I did it because, and obviously this fucking happened. Like, I already wrote this song, and then all this, like, controversy about using that. It's not, by the way, that's bullshit. But anyway. But yeah, funny that happened. And I wrote all that before, but we're fine. But yeah, I wanted to do, like, I wanted to do something that felt like this is a thing that people do to, like, please the kind of audience that I don't always engage with anymore, essentially. Because, like, that's usually the AA thing is, like, it's a broad thing, but, like, usually people use it as, like, a lewd thing, and, like, yeah, it's not me. And it was like a trend, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that high honey trend or whatever. It was like a thing that, like, make all these VTubers say this thing, and it's like, so I wanted to say it in the song because it was something that, it was a trend that I feel like was almost forced upon some people. I feel like there were people that didn't want to do that trend, but, like, kind of were being asked or forced into that situation to do it. And I didn't, luckily for me, there weren't that many people that came to my streams that asked me to do that. But I did have some people, and I didn't want to do it, but I kind of did. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, never mind. But I did it to kind of, like, kind of spite that, in the sense that's like, okay, I'll do it when I want to do it. Not when you ask me, all right? I'm going to do it when I want to do it, and because it's fucking fire, okay? It was like, it fits so well in the song. And I also wanted to do the gohan ni suru. That's the, if you don't know what that is, that's the do you want dinner or a bath or me? That's what that meme is, essentially, what that part is in Japanese. And again, it's like following that trend. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do with that. Yeah, that's it. I just felt like it was a good bridge too, because, like, right after that, I have the screaming throne, and it's again to symbolize, like, this kind of trend that is forced upon people that don't want to do it, makes us go crazy. So let's not force people to do things they don't want to do. All right. But yeah, that's essentially what all that is. But Throne was really fun, and I'm glad to share it with y'all. It was a great song too. I love the result because I wasn't sure about the song at first, but we are here now. We are living for it. Castle is Castle's also, like, a really good song. It started off as my favorite song, but at this point, I don't think I have a favorite. It's just up there. So, yeah. I think structurally, I like Castle possibly the most structurally. Yeah, anyway, I like something about every song more than the other, you know what I mean? It's hard, but anyway, to talk about Castle really fast, I highly recommend checking out the website when I have it posted, because I wrote a very, very short, like, I don't know, like 3-paragraph story on like the lore behind Castle, like lightly. It's not really lore, but it's just like a really light story on Castle. So I highly recommend checking the site once it's up tomorrow. And I'll post about that on, like, the Discord or whatever. But essentially, it's kind of going along that same lines of Kōri as a character has been isekai'd into a world that she knows nothing about, doesn't know the language, has no friends, literally is in a body of someone who has so much responsibility, literally a crown on their head, and it's very isolating. In the kingdom, there is only one castle, and it stands alone at the top of a mountain, at least in Xylon's case. And I wrote this song potentially at the most, like the worst point of my VTubing career so far. I was at a really low point, and the song is very emotional because of that. And I just felt I really felt as isolated and anxious and very just alone. And I just felt like I was a foreigner in my own world, and that's kind of what that's what Castle's about. All right, that was Castle. Woo! So yeah, I don't know. I think just to kind of this is a good closer song because I can talk a little more about like as a whole the album. I feel like I didn't realize how much Kōri and I share. I mean, I know that I wrote the character, right? But I think I didn't realize that there was just so much that I could relate to being in the situation that she's in, at least especially with like my VTubing experience, right? And I feel like, well, Interstellar Ice is a collection of my experiences through the lenses of Kōri as a character. Maybe it's not as like well developed lore wise in some of the songs, right? But it's they're all parts of me as the person behind Kōri. And I at the end of the day, what I want Interstellar Ice to be and why I named it Interstellar Ice is because it's a collection of experiences, of emotions, of all the good and the bad that I have experienced within the last couple of months. Mostly through VTubing, obviously, because that's what we're doing here. And obviously, it's through Kōri-Oujo, through this character. And with this album and the messages that I have in the album, I really just hope that the stories that I told through these songs shed some light on not only the person behind Kōri-Oujo, me, but also just people that have been in similar situations. Like, no, you're not alone. And that I want people to continue to chase their dreams and to set yourself up for success and to be true to yourself, more importantly. Because I know what it feels like to not be true to yourself. Like, everyone knows how that feels like. It's so cliche to say, but we always forget that in amidst like all of the craziness of doing a new hobby like VTubing, you know. So don't forget to just be yourself. I always say it to people when they ask for advice on, you know, being a VTuber. But yeah, I can't stress it enough. Just be yourself, because the more that you act like something you're not, and like, you know, not being genuine with your audience and with yourself, more importantly, I think the easier it is to crash. And I don't know, that's just my opinion, of course, but do what you want. But but yeah. So that's the album, everybody. We fucking did it.